Here's a tough experiment. Tomorrow morning you wake up. Everything is the same. Your apartment, your coffee, your phone. Except your job doesn't exist anymore. Not because you were fired. Not because the company went under. Because a machine does it now better, faster, cheaper. Nobody needs you for that thing anymore. The thing you spent 10, 15, 20 years learning. The thing you introduced yourself with. The thing your parents were proud of. Gone. Now. Who are you? Not what would you do. Who are you? If you feel panic right now, that's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign that your identity was never yours. It was a function. And you confused the two. It starts with a question every child hears. What do you want to be when you grow up? Not who. What? A doctor? A lawyer? An engineer? A firefighter? A pilot? A CEO? From the very beginning, we are tough. You are what you do, not what you fear, not what you believe, not who you love, what you do. And for men especially, this goes even deeper. Because the deal says your value comes from your function. Can you provide? Can you solve? Can you build? Can you earn? If yes, you have a value. If no, Houston, you have a problem. That's not identity. That's a job description. And most men have confused the two their entire lives. Now let's look at what AI can do. It writes better than most. It analyzes faster than anyone. It codes cheaper than you. It strategizes without ego. It designs. It composes. It translates. It summarizes. It advises. It plans. And it's getting better every month, every week. Not better than the best human, but better than you. And in a system that only cares about output, good enough from a machine beats excellent from a human. Because the machine is cheaper, available 24/7, doesn't call in sick, doesn't need a raise, doesn't have feelings. And the system doesn't care about your feelings either. Here's what nobody talks about. When a man loses his job, he doesn't just lose income. He loses his answer to the question, who am I? And the collapse doesn't happen loud. It happens quiet. He gets a little more silent. a little more distant, a little more numb. He stops talking about the future because the future was his function and his function is gone. He doesn't say, I'm having an identity crisis. He says, I'm fine, just tired. But inside, the sentence running on repeat is, if I don't perform what I'm here for, that's not depression. That's the sound of an identity that was never built on anything real. Identity is not a luxury. It's not something you figure out on a meditation retreat or in a therapy or after you retire. Identity is the foundation. Without it, a single machine can erase your existence. Not your life, your sense of self. And that's worse. Because a man without a job can find another job. But a man without an identity doesn't know why he should. And the system loves this. A man without identity is the perfect consumer. He buys things to feel something. He works jobs he hates because he has no alternative self that could imagine something different. He scrolls for hours because silence terrifies him. And in the silence, he might hear the question he's been avoiding his whole life. Who am I? Not what do I do? Not what do I earn? And not what do people think of me? Who am I? The system doesn't want you to answer that question, because a man who answers it stops being controllable. AI didn't cause this crisis. AI revealed it. It forced the question you've been avoiding. Not will I lose my job, but who am I without it? And if the answer is silence, that's the diagnosis. You never had an identity. You had a function. You called it me. So what remains? What can you do that a machine can't? You can keep a promise, not because it's efficient, because it matters. You can grieve, not process loss. Actually feel it. You can forgive, not calculate forgiveness. Mean it. You can fail and choose to get up, not because an algorithm says to, because something inside you says to. You can love, badly, imperfectly, with fear and doubt and risk. A machine can simulate all of this, but simulation is not the thing. The thing is the weight, the cost, the trembling, the fact that it's hard and you do it anyway. That's not function. That's identity. Let it make me concrete. Imagine you have a child, and one day your child asks, "Who are you?" Not what's your job. Not how much do you make. Who are you? What do you say? If the only answer you have is, I'm a project manager, software engineer, or I'm a sales director, then you haven't given your child a father. You've given them a job title. But if you can say, I'm the one who stays, even when it's hard, even when I don't know the answer, even when I'm scared, I'm the one who stays. No machine will ever say that and mean it. You never had an identity. You had a function and you called it alive. AI didn't take that from you. AI showed you it was never yours to begin with. And that's not a tragedy. That's your first real chance to find out who you actually are. Not what you do, not what you earn, not what you produce. Who you are when all of that is gone. The X-ray is in front of you. It shows someone you've never met. Yourself. Thanks for listening. And if you want to go a bit deeper, down in the comments you can find a link to the podcast. There we get a little more closer. This was Andre Decoded. Clarity over comfort. And see you in the next one.